Welcome back to our channel. Welcome to the heart of the active adult living here at Trilogy. Today we're trading in our golf carts for something a little more pedal powered. We're getting a sneak peek into one of the community's most vibrant and active groups, the Trilogy Bike Club. Cycling's more than just a hobby here. It's a way to stay fit, explore the beautiful surroundings, and most importantly, build incredible friendships. I'm here today with Mark Jacobsen from the club. Thanks for joining me.
Dear.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to dive right into what makes the club tick, how you can join, and maybe even get a few secrets to making up those tough hills. So how and when did the Trilogy Bicycle Club get started? What was the main idea behind it?
Yeah, so the club started about 21 years ago. I think it was one of the really early clubs, Trilogy Vistancia, started by Gail Johnson. If you know, maybe at this class as she teaches. She really began with Gail and one other individual who decided it would be fun to ride around the community. The two of them went off, did a ride, and that two-person ride evolved over time to what it is today, where we have about 130 members who are actively riding their bikes at all levels around the community.
Oh, wow, that's great. I was going to ask you how many members you have. So what kind of commitment comes with this?
Well, it's really up to the individual. We have some people who are very serious riders who ride 4 times a week with a club and might ride even more outside of club rides. You have other people who might ride once a week, anything in between. It fits well with people who have multiple activities in their life. For a bike club is one of several activities. Do we do a ride a week? That's fine. Biking sort of passion. Bike multiple times per week, all over tour.
Well, that's great. How would you describe the spirit of the club in 3 words?
Well, I'm going to ask these 4.
Okay,
So,
I'll let you do it.
There's a bike club member walking by right now who epitomizes bike club. So we have a slogan that we say, friends for fun, fitness, and safety. And those 4 words, I think, will sum up kind of what the club's all about.
bike riding is fun. I mean, we all go back to the fun we had riding our bikes as kids. How it'd be your feeling of freedom. Now you love the wind blowing through your hair. How you love to explore the areas you lived in. I mean, biking still delivers that to people of that age.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to be fit. It's pretty easy on the body. It's not hard on your joints. You're not pounding your joints on the pavement. And I like to run, but I can't run that much because it does take a toll on your body. Biking, actually, one of our members said to me a couple of years ago, he was 80 years old, still riding in the fastest rides we had in the club. He said, no matter how bad I feel, when I get on the bike and start riding, I always feel better.
Was that Butch?
It wasn't Butch.
Oh.
Butch was another one. Butch, of course, is a legend.
He is a legend.
This is Sam McComb.
Okay.
Who was a very serious biker and doesn't cycle anymore, but he rode very strongly and fast up through his 80s. And talking about fitness, also friendship, community, connection, we look at as a key part of our club. Every ride, one of the key components of the ride is in kind of a coffee stop or some kind of a stop. Usually it's at a coffee shop where members just sit and chat and connect and share information about whatever topics they're interested in. Often it's cycling, often it's other things. But it's a great way to achieve those kind of social personal connections that are so key. They're just having a happy life. And then sort of, I think, foundational to everything we do is just our emphasis on safety. All the fun, the fitness, the friendship kind of goes away if you have an accident to your sideline. So we put a huge emphasis on safety. They talk about it on every ride. They emphasize it in all our bike club meetings. They teach one another how to ride safely together. Because if we're not riding safely, if we're not staying upright, if we're not returning
just as healthy as we were when we started the ride. That's a real pro either. So safety is just priority number one.
Well, that's great. So the club sounds like it accommodates all levels. Can you explain the different categories of the rides that you do?
Yes. So we kind of grade our rides. We have A rides, B rides, C rides, D rides, and then in category I'll talk about second called easy rides. Um, the A rides are for the really serious riders in the club who still ride non-e-bikes, are pretty serious, fun riding, ride pretty fast, go really people. They enjoy the sort of competitive aspect of it and kind of pushing themselves hard aspect of riding. B rides are kind of a step below that, still strenuous, still really good exercise, but not quite as fast. We see more e-bikes on those rides, but in many ways, that's sort of like the core group on a club that shows where the numbers are. C rides are just a step below that. Could typically ride, oh, I don't know, 13 to 15 miles an hour on the average. Some of those riders ride e-bikes. Some of those riders ride on the bikes. They're still good exercise, but not pushing yourself quite so hard. Mileage might be in the 30, 35 mile range, where at the A level it might be 50, 60 miles per ride. And then D is a fairly casual ride, very social ride, often in the Trilogy neighborhood itself or just in Vistancia. Sometimes they do off-site rides as well. But again, a good ride for people who are just getting back into riding, just want to take it easy and just sort of ease back into, riding on a regular basis. And then I kind of touched on the easy ride. That's kind of a special ride. I mean, it's a new ride we're testing this year. The easy ride we do once per month, and it's open to all Trilogy. You don't have to be in the bike club. So if you have an interest in maybe checking out the bike club, saying, do I like riding in groups? This bike club does it seem like a good fit to what I want? You can sign up for an easy ride. It's typically on a Friday in the afternoon, and that's followed up by social time at the Kiva Club. And it's about a 10-mile ride, just at a nice, relaxed pace around the community, and just a great way to just sort of take that first step into group riding and Trilogy Bicycle Club.
Well, that sounds awesome. So what are the most popular or most scenic rides you guys do on a regular basis?
Well, we have a regular schedule of rides immediately around Trilogy. Those could be in Trilogy, those could be in Vistancia, they could be in the surrounding cities, Sun City West, Grand, Surprise, Artera. So those I consider kind of our standard routes that we do on a regular basis. Some of the really cool rides I think in the area that I like, the one that I really enjoy, though it's a little bit more challenging, is the ride to Bartlett Lake. We usually get drive to Carefree. We'll do the ride, which involves a fair amount of climbing and descending, which is really fun, to Bartlett Lake, and then back out, and then we usually go to local Johnny's in Cave Creek for a post-ride beverage.
As to say beverage?
That's really a fun one. Another one I really liked is they have a really cool thing they do south Mount. They call Silent Sunday, where they close the climb up to South Mount to all far traffic, and it's all bikes and pedestrians and hikers, and it's just a wonderful experience. Lots of people, lots of energy. That's a really fun one. We go to Prescott, we ride there. We've done some rides on Warm Lake and Flagstaff, Tortilla Flats in kind of more nascent areas.
You did all the curves on going to Tortilla?
Oh yeah,
That's so much fun.
yeah. That's a fun and beautiful, very beautiful ride.
Yeah, that's a good scenic one.
Yes, and there's just wonderful opportunities, and then frankly, I think as we see, northwards, up towards 74 developed with all the developments going up where I think that's going to open up some real interesting rides as well. We can ride up or around Lake Pleasant, or just go more general area. It's quite beautiful.
That'll be wonderful. So, has the club done any big, memorable cycling trips outside of the area?
Yeah, many. Sort of historically, I mean, some of the great ones are the trip to Switzerland, might be to Switzerland, France, riding some of the famous routes, the Tour de France rides, and then I rode up Mount Ventoux, which is one of the most famous bike rides in the world. Like to Portugal, France, talking about France. Individual members have ridden literally all over the world, usually in groups. I mean, the great thing about the bike club is you make friends with people who have your interests, and they'll go off do trips together. And then literally, most countries of the world we're probably ridden. Now, closer to home, we often do either annually or semi-annually. We do a long 3-day trip to Tucson.
Oh, wow.
Which is a great ride. It's got Tucson Loop, which is our 113 miles of paved bike trail all around Tucson. We'll do that. We'll ride through Saguaro National Park. Mount Lemmon is one of the great climbs in the United States. People who don't mind climbing for 3 hours straight do that one. I personally think that's one of my favorite rides in Arizona. So we'll do that. Another big trip that several of us have done over many years is a ride called Ragbri. That's kind of a iconic bucket list ride for cyclists. It's a ride across the state of Iowa, and it sounds sort of like a boring thing to do, but it's actually incredibly popular. Typically, there's anywhere 10 to 30,000 people doing that ride.
Oh, wow.
Over the course of the week, riding from one end of Iowa to the other, always west to east, from the Missouri River to the Mississippi River. And yeah, we've done that as a group several times as well.
That sounds interesting. I never would have thought about biking through Iowa.
Yeah, I know. Most people don't, but you'd be amazed at how popular it is.
So, I know you touched on it a little bit about the social side. What kind of off-bike events and gatherings does the bike club do?
Well, we do. There's certainly a holiday party like most of the clubs.
The Trilogy say, will be coming up very soon. Often, bike club members will get together and like Saturday mornings at the Kiva Club and just sit down and connect. Because one of the great things about the club is that it's not only biking together, but I mean, it really is a foundation of all kinds of great friendships and all kinds of great connections. One of the things that really impressed me when I first joined the club was just how much members care for each other. And the way I found that out was my wife was doing some decorating when we are one of the rooms of our house. Thought she was on a two-step stool, which is actually great. She fell off, broke her hip. She's not even in the bike club, but immediately the bike club organized to put together meal delivery.
Oh my gosh.
And basically bringing meals every night, just proactively, while she was recovering from that accident. I mean, it just blew her away. Just the way the bike club, just sort of reached out to help someone in the club who had a temporary need. And I've seen that over and over and over. It's just an incredible club of incredible people and just great connection. But it's something that never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, that seems like the Trilogy way. That's like that with a lot of people in here. If you're in a club or not, people look out for each other. And I always tell people that's the spirit of this community.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to help.
Yeah, and I mean, it's suited in action. It was so true.
It's awesome. That is just great. That just gets me kind of choked up thinking about it. So, what's the best part about the friendships you made with the club? It sounds like we touched on that. Lifelong friends, that type of thing.
Great friends, the friends that, you can talk with about all kinds of topics, not just cycling, as I just kind of alluded to. So little friends who are there when you need them.
friends who not only are physically active but intellectually active. We actually have a book club under the auspices of the bike club. So I mean, just had a meeting last night, and I love those get-togethers because you can exercise your brain, your social skills, as well as your body. So
So what are you guys reading now? Now I want to know.
well, we just read first the Thursday a murder book, which was a fun book, and also a review on Netflix for those that are interested. Oh, yes. And we have picked the book next. The later rule in the rules of the club work is whoever hosts the club gets to pick the book, and we're waiting for our next host to pick the book, and we're anxiously waiting to see what.
Well, that's kind of rolling the dice.
Here's rolling the dice, but I mean the books are very eclectic. Sometimes they're kind of lighter, like Thursday Murder Club, and sometimes they're much more in depth on the challenger reads. But it's just fun, and then the conversations are fun too because they're not only about the book, but then they kind of branch off to related topics. Just a fun experience.
That's really cool. Well, I know safety is a huge priority, especially being out on the road. You got all the cars and it's getting busier in this area. What are some of the key safety guidelines or tips you can share with new members?
Well, number one, mas isikigalabia yes entity was a bit worry is
Wear a helmet, protect your head. That's number one. I mean, it's unlikely you're going to fall down, but if you do, often, no matter how hard you try, you're like, would it be? But that's never a good thing. Secondly, make sure you're riding bike lanes, or if at all possible, choose safe routes. We have some really nice bike paths community, the River Trail, for example. Great all bike lanes around Trilogy. Specifically around our area, get weight, stay out of the traffic. One of the big things we emphasize, because we always ride in groups, is group riding is very different from individual riding. You're riding in a group, you're very up aware of yourself, but about everybody around you, and the fact that if someone's riding behind you, they can't see what's in front of them, and they see you. So, we put a big emphasis on pointing things out the road, what decontamination hazards that are upcoming, letting people know when they need to slow down, and really taking responsibility not only to yourself, people that you're with. And then, don't undertake challenges that, maybe you think of beyond your ability. Kind of know what your capabilities are and ride accordingly. And that could often come into play when people take up mountain biking in the area. And one thing about Arizona, in this area, is I think the very best biking in the area is actually mountain biking. It's just spectacular to get out to the desert, and but you have to be realistic about what you're able to handle at our age, about our level of balance and mobility and so forth. So just ride within your capabilities and kind of ease into greater riding challenges.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with this. For anyone watching right now who wants to join the fun, what's the best way for them to sign up or get more information about the club?
Well, a great way to get that first introduction to the club is sign up or show up rather for the easy ride we're going to have on November 7th, 4 o'clock. It's Friday, November 7th at 4 o'clock. We'll all be meeting out at the back mailboxes in the Kiva Club parking lot. Anybody in Trilogy is welcome. All you got to do is wear a helmet, and there'll be a waiver you have to sign, and then we'll do a nice 10-mile ride around the community at a really relaxed pace. Experience riding in a group together, and then have some social time at the bar. For more information about the club in general, go to our website at trilogybiceclub.com, and Jennifer is also going to provide a link to that. That will give you all the information about the club. You can look at our calendar of our rides. Typically, we have rides every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, so there's many opportunities to ride during the week, and then there are all the levels I had talked about earlier, A, B, C, and D.
You can see the rides we offer. There's information about what it's like to ride the club, riding together, etc.
So,
Sorry, we were interrupted by a cart going by us.
So I encourage you to go out to the website, great information out there. And if you choose to join, you can join right from the website. We have the annual dues of $30 per year, which, for someone like me who probably rides, I don't know, 100 times at least, that's a pretty good bargain. So go out to the website and should be able to answer all your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll put that information on the description for trilogybikeclub.com. And thank you so much for joining me today to do this.
Yeah, my pleasure. I mean, I love the bike club. I'm real passionate about it. It's made a huge difference in my life. And, and we'd always love to see new members and to welcome new members. And want them to enjoy some of the same benefits we have.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much.